Watched the end of the Texans Colts game, got sick to my stomach. It's a bunch of malarkey if you ask me, Alberto Riveron. Listen, I understand that, yeah, there might not have been a clear recovery after watching all 6 angles of the replay, but there's no way you decided that and decided not to review it in under 2 minutes. The ball was clearly out. It's a 3-point game. The team that is down in under 2 minutes knocks the ball free. There's pandemonium. It's a bunch of malarkey, if you ask me, with what old Alberto Riveron. This is just a depiction of what the beginning of the season was. Mm-hmm. The officiating crews and the head officials in New York messing up games. They got a little bit better. They kind of disappeared from conversation. I don't know if they got better on the field or if their mistakes weren't just as big as they were in the first ones. But here we are back in a prime position of a game, and the refs are back in the topic of conversation. Texans fans say he clearly didn't recover it. Everybody else says he lifted up his hand while holding the ball, waved to the camera, waved to Alberto Riveron, and pointed the opposite direction. I'm Darius Leonard, Defensive Rookie of the Year last year, All-Pro, Maniac. And I'm literally waving to the camera. I have the ball in my right hand. He came out after the game and said, yeah, I had the ball. And Deshaun Watson even told him he had the ball. So, was there a review where they would have been able to tell? I'm not sure. But I don't like the fact that they didn't take another look at it. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, everybody's mad about the game slowing down. I get it. But whenever something that important happens at the end of a game, hey, by the way, these games, especially division games that are basically championship games, there's millions and millions of dollars on the line for the city, for the team, for humans. Why don't you go ahead and take a little peeksy peek? And then for those pass interference ones, the ones that the internet can get right in 10 seconds, let's speed those up a little bit. Let's make sure we take time when it's needed and not be ridiculous when it's not. I think that's a problem I have with the review thing. There's stuff that's so obvious that literally every human that has even one eye, I assume, pirates with a patch would be able to see this on the internet. Whenever you see a video, it's like, bang, easy. And then they're sitting down there for 4 minutes. It's like, you guys are professionals. I'm just an amateur idiot on the internet. I can figure it out. What is taking you so long? Well, they got to get to line of scrimmage. Okay, you know what I can do on the air? I can just pause it. Where are they at? They're at 47. Okay, let me hit play again. I'm sure you guys can do that with your little 8-inch screens that you're looking into. Can you not? It's just, I think there's no common sense. And if I've been doing these college games now a lot. By the way, congrats to Georgia Tech getting their third win on the season. Coach Jeff Collins and also Coach Doran at NC State, very hospitable. I like both of those staffs. Good things moving forward for both teams. They're very young. But Georgia Tech, if Jeff Collins, who did it at Western Carolina, did it at Temple, did it at FIU, if he can recruit the specimens that I think he's going to recruit in there, that Georgia Tech team, 3 years, I'm calling playoff team. If he can recruit. Now, Atlanta, Georgia Tech, very good institution. Atlanta, very good city. You got a lot of players from that area that go to other schools that are going to utilize the transfer portal to come back. If he can get the guys if he can recruit the guys, I think they're going to be, because the ACC, by the way, whenever Trevor Lawrence is gone, I'm assuming they'll bring in another one. I think them and Georgia Tech are going to be I think it has a chance. I honestly think it has a chance. But anyways, so I get to meet a lot of these review referees. They're all 95 years old. They are very old, because the thought is you have to be a ref for so long and then you become a review official. It's like, why is that the case? Why don't we get someone down there that has the eyes that are good enough to go ahead and read the technology that we have? I mean, it is very interesting to me the way these are all. And Alberto Riveron, I mean, he was probably a good on-field ref. I don't know, by the way. A lot of people have said he stinks on the field, he stinks off the field. I don't remember him being so terrible, but he has shown a magnificent display of ineptitude whenever it comes to reviewing things. In that game last night, you just have no faith that Alberto Riveron's going to get it right. You have no faith that, it was just a one-time mistake, move forward. And yeah, it's a team that I said is going to win the Super Bowl. Yeah. T.Y. dropped a couple balls, and yeah. There's a lot of other things that happen, but boy, the reason why you play the game is for that last-minute drive. The reason why you have Jacoby Brissett, a dog, a winner, is to get him the ball in that particular case, to not even think about reviewing it. And then the Texans call a timeout, which I guess in itself was another chance to review it, which I kind of respect. But they had that play clock all the way down, and there wasn't even a thought to buzz down and like, we should probably take a look at this. I mean, this is just a lot of money on the line. The team that's down only 3 points, which could potentially tie this up to send it to overtime, or go ahead and win the damn thing, which has happened in them. We should look at this. Instead, they don't do it. And that's why there's no common sense happening in the NFL officiating ranks. They come out and tweet, say, well, the refs didn't see a fumble, so there's no reason to review or something like that. Get this, shut up. Shut the hell up. I'm sick of it. I wish the Colts would have got a win, though. I'm not happy about it. I watched the highlights of the game through and through. They do a little thing on the NFL All 22, what is that called? The channel or the website that has all the All 22 and all the cameras. You get All Access or something like that. Mm-hmm. The NFL All Access, they like piece together the entire game. It's like a highlight, and it's like a 30-minute highlight. I watched that last night at like 2:30 a.m. while I was laying in bed. I was like, damn, how do we leave DeAndre Hopkins that open on that first touchdown? How does that happen? Well, it was a blown coverage, obviously. How do all these things take place? And it's like, yeah, the Colts didn't play their best game. The Colts didn't play anywhere near their best game. T.Y. Hilton, who's coming back off a calf injury, drops a couple big-time balls. Now, granted, one of them I think was a pretty big pass interference that didn't get called. But that was a 3-point game in their house on a short week. So anybody that's saying the Colts aren't a good team, I mean, that in of itself proves that they are. Now, the Ravens are saying that the Texans are not a good team. That's just a few days ago where they won by 100. But I think the Texans proved a lot about themselves as well. To take that shocking, that mollywhopping, that beating in Baltimore to Lamar Jackson in the game that was hyped up and then come back 4 days later and have a pretty good performance, I mean, that's good for them. But for the Colts, short week on the road against a rival, they got a young running back. That Jonathan Williams kid's going to be good. I think Jacoby Brissett is still damn good. I mean, he missed a couple throws, I guess, but ran one in, made some plays. And if he gets the ball back, if they review that, when Darius Leonard is waving at the camera saying, I got the ball, I'm betting Jacoby Brissett walks down the field, picks that defense apart, and just scores a touchdown, walk off, how you doing, wear your Mortal Kombat stuff home with an L.
Who's to say you're wrong? And who's to say you're wrong?
I don't know. Yeah, you can't. That's why it's great being a talking head in that particular case. If Jacoby Brissett gets that ball after it came out for Darius Leonard, Jacoby Brissett takes the ball and walks down the field with it. He gets the ball and matriculates down the field, picking them apart. And T.Y. Hilton, who is a gamer, T.Y. Hilton, although he dropped a couple balls, T.Y. Hilton makes a sideline catch just like he did a few weeks ago. Jonathan Williams, a guy I never heard of until a week ago. Bang, he pops one for 30 to 40. Quentin Nelson, they end up on a goal line package. Quentin Nelson gets the ball in a fullback formation. Learned from what happened last week. He called himself a coward on a video about not being able to pick it up. Let's assume he runs over 7 guys after what happened last week. He scores a touchdown. Not only are we beer bonging, keg standing, even one of them the beer gun things.
Yeah. Beer sticks.
They got it all, I bet. It's a celebration in Houston. And that's why it's great to be in this position in that particular case, because we'll never know. But that's honestly what I believe would have happened.